How's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is Weekly Recap. What is Weekly Recap? Well, hang around and I'll tell you. I'm going to go over my week of operating a semi-truck in the United States of America. This week is going to be from the end of February, the last week of February here. We're going over 2025. So if you're watching this in the future, thank you very much. Be sure to smash that like button for me. I much appreciate it. I'm going to go over my week. I'm going to talk about the loads I did, why I did them, where I run, the process of making the money. These are just numbers. I'm just going over what happened to me. You do you. Don't get, don't get upset because, I did something. It's not good for your health. I want you to live a long, happy life. So just sit back, enjoy the numbers. And if you know somebody that could use this, if you know somebody that wants to be an owner operator, send them this. I'm not here to brag. I'm not here to complain. I've been doing this a long time. I'm just trying to help people out and give them a different aspect of some realistic numbers. I don't go over my whole life here. This channel is really about trucking, and this weekly recap is really about what happened to me for one specific week. Okay. So I don't talk about my carrier. I'm leased to an 80-20 split refrigerated carrier. I don't talk about them. It don't do me no good. So I just let that go. I don't talk about truck payment, insurance, taxes. Those are all things that you will have to account for. Insurances, there's different kind of insurances. Your truck payment, you need to figure that out before you go into business. And taxes, my God, ain't no way I would talk about taxes on the internet because every person from here to as far as the eye could see would tell you how you're doing it wrong. So I just don't get into that on the internet. I try not to stir too much. I just want to put these numbers out there for the people that need them, because I know when I was thinking about becoming an owner operator, you know, this was back, when we was still carving stuff into stone. We didn't really have the internet like we do now. We had the internet, just not an abundance of owner operators putting out their numbers. So this is just me trying to help. That's all it is. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. I like to start my weeks out in Minnesota. I like to go out. I like to come back, rinse, repeat. So I get that time at the home when I go back to Minnesota. That's why I do it this way. I'm no longer a road warrior. I ain't staying out weeks at a time. Preferably 5 to 10 days is my sweet spot. If I have to, I'll stay out a little longer. Like when I got vacation coming up, I normally stay out. Probably 14 to 20 days leading into vacation just to get that extra little bit of revenue. Because normally when I go on vacation, I like to take a full 7-day week for vacation. So that's normally how I do it. Instead of taking my normal home time, I'll just kind of lump a little bit of home time into that vacation. It's part of the sacrifice we make as business owners. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So let's talk about this week. Minnesota, out and back, the exact same load I started out with last week. Minnesota to Georgia. Really tight scheduled load. So last time I done this, they wanted to load it at 4 p.m. And I told them I don't want it if it loads in the afternoon like that. It's just too rough on an old man like me. I just don't feel it. Because you pick it up at 4 p.m. and then you got to run 600 miles. So I told them, I said, give me the earliest one you can schedule and I'll do it for you. And they got me one scheduled at noon. And this place is pretty consistent. They take an hour and a half to 2 hours to load a trailer. They're not going to start early. You show up at your appointment time. They'll put you in a door. They load you. They give you the paperwork. You leave. A very efficient, very high volume place. So I took the noon appointment, got me out of there at around 2 p.m. versus the week before when I got there at 4 p.m., got out of there at 6. That made for a long night. Wasn't as bad loading it at noon. And the delivery time was almost the same. So it really gave me like an extra 4 hours on the run, which I feel I needed on this. So this loads Minnesota to Georgia, 32 empty miles, 1161 on the loaded miles, 1193 total miles, 42,000 pounds of frozen food, negative 10 degrees, paid $3,500. Now, if you remember last week, this load paid $3,600. That's the type of freight market we are in, okay? Fuel didn't go down, truck payments didn't go down, insurance didn't go down. The only thing that's going down are the rates, okay? So that's what they did. I mean, same exact load, same exact everything, took $100 bill off of it. I don't know. That's just where we're at these days. That's what's going on out here in the world. So I got down to Georgia, and hey, you know this guy. I love them chicken loads. Hell, I can't get enough chicken loads. Please, more chicken loads. Can I do them for less money as well? Can you ruin my trailer so I've guaranteed got to get a washout while I'm there too? Even if I'm picking up packaged chicken, can you track a bunch of chicken blood in and out of my trailer so my trailer's just garbage when it gets unloaded, just sticky, stinky? Please, can you do that for me? Oh, oh, I love it. Yeah, I picked up packaged chicken going to a grocery warehouse, and I was like, oh, okay, well, good. I won't have to have a washout because it's packaged chicken. No, they proceeded to drive a forklift through what I can only assume was a puddle of chicken butts and guts in and out of the trailer a million times. So I still had to get a washout. Oh, they kill me with that. They kill me with that. Um, But this load of chicken was two picks, one drop. I've never done a chicken load with two picks. Hell, eventually I'm going to have a whole repertoire of chicken loads under my belt. Two picks, one drop, two picks in Georgia, just right down the road from each other. Um, Same company and everything, just went there, loaded 20,000 pounds, went over there, loaded, 20,000 pounds, boom, we're gone. Now, if you know chicken loads, they don't go that smooth. So I'm sitting at a truck stop and just chilling, minding my own business. The load's supposed to pick up at 9 p.m. The broker calls me at 5 p.m. I'm back there, watching freaking Disney Plus or something, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. And the broker calls me and says, hey, that load's going to be ready at 5 o'clock. Can you go get it? And I said specifically to this broker, are you 100% this load's ready? Because I explained it to him. I said, I have a spot at a truck stop 10 miles away. And last time I went over there to get loaded, they said the load wasn't ready. And they sent me right back to this exact truck stop because chicken plants, if you don't know, they don't have staging lights. They use the local community as their staging light. So, broker, yes, I confirmed it with them. The load is ready. But here's the thing: they need you to go to the second stop first. I said, no worries. I said, it's all going to the same place. I don't care if they load XYZ first or ABC first. I'll go do that. I go to the second pickup. I pull in. I go to the shipping office. The guy says, that load ain't ready. That load won't be ready till about 9 o'clock tonight. You should go to the truck stop and park. Yeah, yeah. So instantly I called a broker. Okay. I explained to the broker, I says, I was at a truck stop with a parking spot with an ELD that had not been started for the day. And you called me and specifically said the load's ready. What does? So the broker says to me, let me call them. I said, oh, you ain't got to call them. I'm sitting right here in the shipping office. You're on speakerphone. So y'all can have this conversation right here with me, part of it. Who talked to who said this load was ready. But as usual, the trucker takes the brunt. I took the brunt. The brokers at home, they don't care. Whatever. F this trucker. The shipping department don't care. Who did the broker even talk to, if they did even talk to anybody? No one cares, because here's the facts. The trucker takes the brunt. Now, it's dark. It's getting dark. It's like 5, 6 o'clock at night. I got to take my butt back to that truck stop, knowing damn well they ain't a parking spot there. I bet you within 10 seconds of me pulling out of that parking spot, someone else backed into it. It's just that type of truck stop. It's like you go there at noon, and a lot of times I got to park by the scale or on the curb. chicken loads. They're all the same, too. Everybody I talk to doing a chicken load, it's the same story. I don't know what it is about the chicken industry, but I feel like the people that are in charge and running it don't know what they're doing. I feel like maybe they come from third world countries where things are just chaos and they enjoy the chaos and they bring that to the chicken plant. I don't know. I can't figure it out. How can every damn chicken load be the exact same bull crap every time? Anyway, that load, 2 picks, 1 drive, Georgia, Ohio, that ain't even the end of that either. So I go back to the truck stop. Of course, there ain't no parking spots. I got to park on the curb. I park on the curb. Immediately the phone rings. Soon as I pop the brakes. Oh, what's up? It's the broker calling me back. Hey, can you go to the first plant? The first part of that load's ready to go. I said, yes, I can go over there. I get there. Load's not ready. They want me to pull around back and sit and wait. I called the broker right then and there and said, I'm not leaving the property. I'm not leaving the dock area. If they call the law and have me leave, I will leave. But I said, I am not leaving this dock area. You've called me twice and said 2 times this was ready. And I went off on a broker right there in the shipping office on speakerphone. And finally, the lady in the shipping office was like, well, let's go ahead and put you in door 4. And I was like, thank God. By this point, it's 10 o'clock at night, whatever. By the time they get me in a door there, I go through this whole chain of events. As soon as I back into the door at what would be I guess the first place, I don't know, I can't even remember, can't even keep up with it at this point. But anyway, as soon as I back into the door there, the other shipping office calls me and says, hey, can you come to door 3? And I said, no, I can't come to door 3. I'm in door 4 at the other plant right now. Oh my God, chicken loads. They'll drive you crazy. They will. They will. It's one of those things is I like doing reefer freight, but the one thing in reefer freight that makes me want to stop doing reefer freight is chicken loads. But here's the thing. I thought about switching and going and buying a flatbed and pulling flatbed. But I think if I did that, they would somehow figure out how to put chicken on a flatbed. I'm just saying they'd figure it out just for me. I'm just saying. But anyway, the good news is that load did come right out of the same town that I was already in. I was down there in the chicken murder capital of the world, Gainesville, Georgia. So it was just a 7-mile empty move, 559 loaded miles, 566 total miles, 40,000 pounds, 26 degrees, and that load paid $1,300. So not a bad rate to come up out of there. And then that load got me to Ohio, and then Ohio to Minnesota. I kind of knew what they were planning when I went to Ohio. We consistently do loads from Ohio back to Minnesota, and that's what they did. It's not my favorite load to do, but in a pretty stressed out, no freight type market, I'm not going to argue about something that takes me home. Honestly, that's just what it is. And that was Ohio to Minnesota, 61 empty miles, 668 loaded miles, 729 total miles, and that load paid $11.50. Yes, $11.50 on a 44,000 pound, 28-degree meat load. Can't even get $2 a mile out of Ohio right now. I'm not sure where this freight market is going, but it feels like it's tanking. I mean, you let me know in the comments what you think. Um, I'm not seeing any bright side to this market. I feel like we got after at the new year we got a little like blimp up, and I don't know if that was from politics or tariffs or what it was. I don't care to get involved in any of that because there's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, I feel like we're like sliding down a slope right now. straight into the gator pit. This is not looking well on trucking right now. That load was a hassle as well. Um, the broker calls me, right? I mean, I'm already checked in. The broker calls me and says, how much weight can you scale? And I told him, like, 44, you know, and the broker says, oh, okay, well, that should be good because we contract for 43.5 out of here. I said, okay, that's fine. I can do that. They loaded 45.5. I can't do that. It was about 1,000 pounds over. Um, I didn't go to the cat scale and get it, but I know between my truck and my trailer scale, I'm pretty accurate, and I was about 1,000 pounds over on that. So I had to call the broker, had to go back around to the shipping department, have them take off a pallet, which got me down to about 43 and change, like 43.2. But I will say this, the shipping department and the broker were very cool about it. I called the broker. The broker said, let me call them. They immediately just brought me right back around, put me straight back in the door, took the pallet off, redid the paperwork, and I was gone. So not too much of a delay, maybe half-hour delay on that. So not didn't want it, but hey, could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. So that was the week. Hell of a week. We're running hard. We're dealing with a lot of crap. Um, it just is what it is. Trucking's kind of a bag right now. I mean, I got no reason to lie to you. If you're thinking about becoming an owner operator, I think real long and hard about it right now. Because if you think you're going to come out here and you're going to do dry van spot market Willie, you're going to have a rough go of it. I can just tell you right now. If you're going to lease onto a carrier, get a carrier that's got something going for them. Like it's got some freight. I personally wouldn't lease onto a carrier that just does all spot market freight right now. I'd be real wary of that. I would. And I'm just being honest with you. I got no dog in no fight. I'm me. I just drive my truck and that's it. But I'll give you the advice I would give me right now. Like, if you are just going to go lease on to buy a truck and lease on to a carrier right now, you might be better off financially to wait it out a little while. Now, if you've got everything lined up and you're ready to go, you got a smart carrier you're going to lease onto, and they got some freight that's going to keep you busy and keep you making money, and you got everything lined up like you need it. I ain't trying to stop you. But if your plan is to go out and get a very expensive truck, because that's the thing, trucks went back up because freight went up. But the freight's coming down and the trucks are still up. So right now you're in an imbalance. The best time to buy a truck is, when freight has bottomed and the price of trucks has come with it. Because then you're getting trucks at bottom price, and then you might get a little rebound, or at least you're, near the bottom. But right now we're in a little bit of it's not price adjusted, I guess is how I would say it. That's my advice. That's my observation. I've been doing this 20 years. I watch what's going on in the industry, and that's what I see going on right now. Not trying to discourage anybody, just trying to give you the God's honest truth about what's going on in trucking right now. So let's go over the week money wise. $5,950 gross money for the week. Me and my carrier combined made $5,950. My 80% of that is $4,760. Yep, $4,760. My 80% to my business. Miles wise, we drove 200. Excuse me, I wish. 2,488 all miles, 2,488 all miles. 100 of that was empty miles, 2,388 loaded miles for 4% deadhead. So at least the deadhead was down. We're not riding around for free. Let's talk about per mile rates this week. 239 all miles come out to 239, $1.92. My 80% was $1.92 all miles, and loaded miles, just for the research purposes, were 249 a mile loaded miles this week. So not bad. It was just we rode the struggle bus. You know what I mean? Some weeks you just have pretty smooth, even week. This one was I often say being a trucker is like a salmon. You're swimming uphill most of the days. You're upstream, up. You got to fight to make things happen. Basically, that's what this week was. Dealing with annoying people that aren't doing their jobs properly. Just dealing with people that make the job harder because they can't read and write English. You know, um, I don't want to get down that trail too far, but it does hold things up. You know, um, Currently where I'm setting to get loaded right now, the guy holding up the line at the check-in was because he was having to call someone and have them translate what the customer needed him to do, like slide tandems, open your doors, for trailer inspection. And he couldn't grasp that. So, the line started backing up, and I've loaded this place a bunch of times. Normally we just, the line moves boom, 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 2 minutes a truck, we're moving them through, very high volume type place here. And, when you get one guy that doesn't know, what's going on, you get two or three of them in the line, and then here we go. It takes, instead of 15 minutes to get to the front of the line, now I set up here like 30 minutes. You start adding 15 minutes to everything you do during the day, and before you know it, that's a pretty damn long day. So it was just one of those weeks. We was on the struggle bus most of the week, um, but that's what it is. Sometimes you have those. And I look at it like this: if you didn't have those weeks, you wouldn't appreciate the good weeks when things just go butter smooth. So I try not to complain too bad, too much when it's like this. But um, I'm just letting you know the realities of what trucking can be and is a lot of times. So let's go over to variable costs. What did I spend to make that money this week? I spent $1,082 on diesel. I spent $179 on reefer fuel, and I do pay for the reefer fuel. The carrier pays for the trailer out of their 20%. I pay for the fuel out of my 80%. So I spent $179 on reefer fuel, $41 on DEF fluids, zero on tolls, zero on parking, zero on scales, for a nice 1302 on variable cost. Bring over that 4760, my 80%, and we subtract out the 1302 variable cost. That leaves me 3458, $3,458 left to do what I got to do with, and that's where I would take out all the other things it requires for me to run my business. And it's a pretty meh week. I can survive on these. My goal is 6,000 gross for the week, kind of as a, just a standard week. So that's pretty much what it was, 59.50. Pretty standard issue week. We survive on these, and we try not to go too much lower than this, but it is what it is. It was a nice tight week of going out and coming back to the house, so I'm appreciative of that. And that's the week, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I much appreciate you tuning in. I really do. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you would like to support the channel, be sure to hit that like button, become a subscriber, ring the bell, watch all the videos and whatnot. That's really what I ask for in support. Go back and watch those live shows. They're a lot of fun. I've got almost 500 live shows in the playlist. I'll tell you right now, just randomly scroll through that playlist and pick one and watch it. It'll make an hour or two go by really fast while you're riding down the road. There's not really anything visual on them, so you don't have to watch them. You can just put it on in the background and listen to it, and try it out. Makes for a fun day. Thanks, everybody. Smash that like button again. I really do need you to do that. Boost that algorithm. Take care of each other out there, and remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, I want to talk to you real quick about the ES Advantage card. Do you need discounts at major truck stop chains? They got them. Do you need discount on shop rates at TA and Love's? They got them. Tire discounts. They even got health insurance now. Click the link down below. Easy application, no credit check. Sign up. They give you a call back, take all your information, and you'll be in the network.